let's rise for the pledge. Mr. Richardson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome our new planning commissioner, Kevin Anderson. And I guess he's going to be sworn in tonight too?
Yes, he is.
Will this be the appropriate time to handle all that?
Okay, if you'd like to come up here. And you will raise your right hand, you'll repeat after me, and I will say I, and then you'll say your name. Okay? I
Kevin Anderson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties that I am about to enter.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you sign these two, and then I will give you one to comb. Yes, you did.
You actually said that. You're the one that wrote that. He's the author, actually.
Okay, and then I will give you one to take. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Welcome.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks, Mary Jane.
Thanks for putting in with us. Okay, now that we have a new planning commissioner, we have a full roster here of people, so let's do roll call.
Thank you. We have two Andersons, so we're going to do it a little differently than we have in the past. So I have Commissioner Gary Anderson,
Here.
Richardson,
Here.
Garden,
Here.
Kevin Anderson,
Here.
and Jensen.
Here. Great. Public appearances per California state law. Matters not on the agenda tonight raised by anyone in the public will be automatically referred to staff or placed on the next meeting's agenda. Anyone wishing to address the commission at this time will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anybody who would like to talk to us about anything that's not on the agenda? If not, we'll move on ahead to the minutes of the previous meeting.
So I have an explanation for you guys.
You have an extra set here.
Yeah, so the July 10th meeting you approved as amended because Sharon Maravich brought to your attention that the indemnification language wasn't included as part of their conditions or listed. Well, their actual project conditions did not include the indemnification language when we went back and checked. So the minutes stand correct. So I need you guys to approve them as presented tonight. They did sign the indemnification, but it did not get included in the conditions as it normally would have. So the city's covered, but it is not a condition. So the minutes were correct as were presented to you at the last meeting.
Okay. After that, and a review of the minutes from the meeting of September 11th, is there any comments or is there a motion?
So we're approving these minutes of July 10th.
Right, I need you to approve them both as presented, or if there's any change. And they are exactly as you saw last month.
We need to approve them again?
Yes, because you approved them as amended,
Okay.
and now you're going to approve them
As they were originally set.
as they originally were.
We can
set.
do both these in one motion?
Yes, you can.
Move to approve.
Second.
Both sets of minutes. Motion by Gary Anderson. We have to make sure we make an attempt to do Gary versus Kevin here. And second by John Richardson. Any other discussion? If not, I'll look for a motion, or excuse me, a vote here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kevin excluded himself, he abstained. All right, we'll move on. Design review application by Jack Meltison for a design review permit to replace the wood shingles on the existing awning and corrugated metal roofing located at 67 to 69 South Washington Street in a C commercial zone. The assessor parcel number 001-193004. Staff?
Okay, as mentioned, this is a change in roofing material. It is for the awning at the building located there at 67/69 South Washington Street. Currently, they have wood shake shingles on the awning, and they are looking to change that to corrugated metal. Figure 1 shows the existing wood shake, and there is figure 2 that has the proposed elevation of what it would look like with the metal roofing, and the details of the metal roofing are there as a sidebar in your staff report. We did look at the building in the historical resources inventory, and while this building, or variations thereof, I should say, was originally built in the 1800s, it's been so altered through time that it's no longer historically significant. There was a second story added on to it and numerous changes made it to the facade. So in this design review, we're really looking to see, does it maintain the historical context for the downtown area versus the specifics on the building itself. And based on that, looking at the awnings that are surrounding it and how it would look on the building itself, staff is recommending approval of the change. So we would be doing that under a CEQA exemption, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you has.
I have one.
Yes.
What color?
It currently is being shown as a regular metal,
Like
just a regular.
Tan color?
Mhm.
Like what we're seeing in the,
What's in the picture.
okay.
Mhm.
Is
Oh,
that,
like in the picture, not this picture.
Is that something that's in the historical building code, the color for the corrugation?
No,
Okay, so this is just something that the
the applicant.
applicant
proposed.
came up with?
Right.
Is it something that is suggested by the city or in any way?
No, no.
Okay.
If you would like to see a color variation to it.
No,
that's
no, I
something that
just,
is
you
a
said you've
purview
got
of-
such a
just-
variety down that street, from awnings to silver corrugation to standing seam, which is just a few doors down.
Right.
It's, yeah.
It's pretty wide open
Yeah, for
as
sure.
to the types along
Yeah.
there. So really, our focus on this was, did the building itself have historical value that we needed to meet, which it did not because of the changes through time. And so then after that, we were looking for, does it match the context of the street? And as you said, there's a wide variety, and what they're proposing is in fact found in the area as well.
Right. Well, my interest in the color is I knew that's an extra cost special order for them. Just-
That's you.
oh, one question, is this a maintenance reason? You're replacing the shakes on that, or the roof? Is it because it's time for a change, or
The shakes deteriorated.
due to maintenance, and it's a maintenance?
The building inspector, the tenant came into the downstairs and he wanted to put the sign back on the shakes where former tenant Backspace had their sign.
Mhm.
And he said that we can't do anything on the building until we either repair or replace.
Okay,
So we felt it was time to
yeah.
get rid of the shakes that when they do get loose, they fall, and put corrugated metal up that's substantial.
Yeah. Good reason.
Yeah, you go down to the old miner shack, and there's a couple there that are about ready to fall off some.
Yeah.
Any other questions of Paula or staff? I take it you're Mr. Meltison?
I am.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else you'd like to offer up to us based on the fact that you're the applicant?
I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, this is fine.
I'll take any comments from the public if anybody would like to comment. Not that I'll bring it back to the commission. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I would like to bring up this whole issue. It seems to me like such an ordinary thing to do with such a collage of different effects down the street. I don't mind coming and dealing with this at a meeting, but it just seems to me like this is something that maybe we ought to look at staff taking care of. You know, here in the city, we have a pamphlet for work exempt for things against the building permits. I'm wondering if there isn't something more that could be done to make it a little bit easier on applicants like this who may have to wait a month or so to get it, approved by the commission.
I'm with you, Gary.
I am also, I think it's be easier for a builder, we're trying to make Sonora look great and upgrade everything, and then you wait 30 days, there's money involved and time, and so this, any way we could, Michelle, do anything to get something going? Where does it go? How do we do this?
Like, I'm even thinking about a foam tree or something, Michelle.
Oh, that's a violation of the Brown Act, so you can't go there. So we could look at we could come up with a minor
Sure.
design review permit application that's done at the staff level or something. We could look at that. It's kind of subjective, so we'll have to think on how to word it, because what you guys might not think is important, and then somebody puts something in, and then you're like, well, how come I didn't see that? So we're going to have to kind of look at how we can word that so that it's really clear to people what's done at the staff level and what's done in front of the planning commission. But I agree, like if somebody wants to put a little awning over their back door right now, that's a design review.
I think this could be handled right at the desk,
Yeah.
things like this. And when I say foam tree, I'm actually basically saying, I'm soliciting like individual input. Like if we were to say, call in if you guys say thumbs up or thumbs down to this type of thing, if you can or can't do that.
We could, it'd be a violation of the Brown Act, so we can't do
It just
that.
seems like it's too simple for that.
Yeah, we can't, it's either staff has to approve it at the staff level, or it has to come here, but I can't solicit individually from you guys, a response on the
All right.
project.
Well, I could have saved the cities. We could have saved the city $170 today.
And if Carol was here, she'd
Yeah, there you go. Tim would like to hear
she'd
that.
be telling you, hey, wait a
You could go to
second.
lunch on that.
Yeah, we'll look at like a minor versus a major,
Sure.
and kind of see if we can't come up with something.
Yeah, you've done a lot with other regulations and
Right.
building permits and that.
So we'll look at that and see what we can come up with, because it is silly sometimes. And we try our darndest to get like for like.
No, I
If
know.
you come in
You guys-
with like for like, we don't have to.
And I appreciate the subjective reference because sometimes color, things like that can influence the law.
Yeah. And sometimes honestly, there's things that I think you're gonna pick up on and you're fine with it, and other things that I think are probably kind of a no big deal. It's a big deal to you guys. So we do have to kind of look at that too. So we'll try to come up with something that,
Save money.
yeah, save time for you guys too.
You go
So-
down the street and look at some of the other corrugated roofs that have been painted and the color's starting to come off them.
Yeah.
So I think that's worse looking than if it had just been the original corrugation,
Yeah.
galvanized.
Well, and I think too, some of the materials are a lot better today.
That's true.
Like if they're colored, they're made in, they're
Yeah.
not painted.
It's not paint anymore.
It's not painted, it's built into that way. So we'll look at that and bring that back to you guys. I understand what you're saying.
Good point, Gary.
Yeah.
We just have to get the subjectivity out of it some way, so we know it's real clear when we have to bring it to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Sure,
I'll
I'll
move
make the motion.
Go ahead. You go, Ron.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the design review permit with following three conditions, or four conditions, and three,
Findings.
four findings, three conditions.
It's all good?
Oh, sorry.
No, second.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. Community Development Director's Report.
We have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yes. Have a good evening.
You too.
So we do have, we're supposed to have a design review for you for the next meeting. It's more of a structural change, but we'll see. It involves an awning, but it's just a little bit different. But it might be one of those ones in the future that we could do it at the staff level once you guys go there.
There you go.
We also are we plan on bringing 2 new ordinances to you to the next meeting. One has to do with non-conforming uses, and the other one is our site plan review. So we're working on those right now. We plan on bringing those to the next meeting, as well as we might be able to look at something for for design review, but we can look at it and see. If we have time, we'll look at that one as well, but these 2 are for sure coming. We've already started on them. It's just a time.
again?
The second one is site plan. It's narrowing the current exemptions from your site plan review process. We talked a little bit, Paula touched on it at the last meeting when we were looking at the KFC project. So staff's going to bring a proposal to you that is a little tightens up who's exempt and who is required to submit a site plan. So we're working on that now. So those are what we'll have. You definitely will have a meeting on November 13th, and it's a Monday. Just because Monday is not a holiday in November. So those will be at least those 3 things should be before you.
Anything on the Kentucky Fried? Anything?
No, we have not received anything on the KFC.
Okay.
And the council is reviewing the general plan for adoption at their next meeting. So once that takes place, then you guys are going to we'll probably have you bring your binders that we just gave you, your 1 binders in, and we'll switch out your general plan because it's a big enough change where you're going to need a whole new, the general plan will have changed significantly. So we'll probably just switch out your general plan.
So the existing general plan we have is this thick, and the new one's going to be about this thick, right?
It's pretty close.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it is a lot smaller.
There's still a lot in it, let's be honest. We didn't delete as much as I would like to have done, but that's for a bigger update.
Yeah, and there's state laws that are triggered by certain updates. I mean, there's a lot involved that requires, if we get too carried away, then you have to create new elements because there's new elements that we don't have in our general plan, such as a safety element. So if we get too crazy on it, then we're going to have to be doing a lot more work. So this will get us by until we do our full update. So that's it.
Is there anything out there in the wind with this sanctuary city that was Governor Brown accepted? Does that have any?
Sanctuary state, you mean?
Yeah.
No.
I read city, but it couldn't have been city, it was state.
It was state.
So there's nothing back affecting anything right now from that, right?
No.
That you know of?
No, the only thing there, I mean, if there was a funding source that the state, we weren't no longer eligible because of that, but I haven't heard of anything.
See what happens.
We just work in our little world down here in
One
Sonora.
question I'm curious about because of what's going on in Calaveras is there anything cooking here with the marijuana, where we are, anything with the council? Is it still floating out there? Is there anything coming up about it?
So they are working through all the different segments. Jim's probably been sitting in on some of those, but I
Just one.
Just one. I only sat in on one, which was more of a land use one that they wanted me to sit in on. They're going through the different types of business operations that can occur. So dispensary, I don't know, manufacturing or whatever. I mean, I'm not that up on it.
Gross.
And then the grows.
Calaveras is wild over there right
Yeah,
now. What's
and then
going on there?
There's interior growing in the home, and then there's, out in the
So it's a
outside.
whole,
So they're looking at all of that, and what that committee is going to make a recommendation to the council. And so they're working up against some deadlines because of when all of the state stuff kicks in. And I think most of it's January, isn't it?
Yes and no. From what I'm understanding, some of it is kind of, those deadlines are going to be able to slide a little bit. But yeah, January 1st was kind of the major
Yeah.
deadline.
So the city attorney's working with them, they'll be drafting ordinances, you guys will get involved, once they determine what restrictions, what they're gonna allow, what they're not gonna allow, and then we'll start the ordinances will start coming to you guys as far as where, if they can have it, where they can have it, what they can have, what they can do, what they can't do, and that'll all come in the form of an ordinance, and some of it will definitely affect Title 17, which is the zoning ordinance, so it'll go before you guys before it goes back to the council.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, so
It's
that'll
gonna
be,
be interesting.
yeah, so you will be seeing it in some form or shape, because we have to modify our existing ordinance no matter what, whether it's if they totally prohibit it, then we still have to modify our ordinance to do that, so you guys will see it, it's just, I'm not sure what form it will take.
You know what's interesting about that discussion? I'm kind of glad Calaveras has been the litmus test
Great
so far
laboratory.
about what to do or what not to do. They threw themselves out there and there's been reaction and so all these other jurisdictions and ourselves included can learn from that. you know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's a wild scene over there. I mean, there's
Crazy.
homicides, there's arrests, and yet there's people that have medical reasons. I mean, it's just nuts. And we're sitting back and watching, which is good.
Yeah.
Because maybe it'll be easier over here.
Yeah, the city's done it right because they didn't jump into it,
They were
they
smart.
didn't. Yeah, now they might have to do, if they bump up against a time issue, they might have to do a total prohibition of everything until they, so they don't miss any deadlines. And then they'll work backwards, but otherwise they'll work forward and designate the areas, but it just depends on timing. And that's all I have for you guys tonight.
You got your boot on still?
I do, till December.
How's that going for you? Good?
It's going good. Yeah, I'm just
Wouldn't know
plugging
you had
away.
it on.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's gonna let me walk around here in a shoe, because he does at home, so I think it would be good. This has nothing to do with the city, but yeah, I'm hoping that at least
Your
around the
Christmas
office.
present will be to throw that thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
a worthwhile one too.
Great.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
See everybody.
Thank you.
Yes. Glad to have you aboard.